What's poppin', y'all? One of the worst botting accusations that I've ever seen. Coming from a streaming OG in the industry, and it's aimed at Wendy Ortiz of all people. So I'm going to play you guys this clip first from this podcast by this dude, Nick Pollum, and also known as NMP LOL. He's one of the earliest streamers on Twitch, and he thinks her views aren't real, which is wild. I'm going to play you guys this clip right now.
No, so it's actually very interesting because I don't know much about Wendy, but I was watching her streams, and it's all like people who don't watch Twitch. It's bringing in a bunch of women into the website. I'm very shocked by it.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think Wendy's viewership is authentic, personally, but yeah.
Elaborate.
I don't think her numbers are real.
Okay.
See, I think if you were on that side of TikTok, seeing where her content is, bro, you would have to pay money to avoid it. She is everywhere.
I believe that, but then if that's the case, then she should have won her votes then.
Well, hold on.
If she's
There's
that
also.
big.
What was she nominated for?
I'm telling you, in this, people need to understand this. Just because you have a lot of TikTok views, keep in mind, so is Amp, so is Asian Boy Ray. They're massive on TikTok too. Doesn't necessarily translate to Twitch viewership, but it's such an easy sell to the Gen Pop that since you're big here, then you're automatically big here. So it's easy to inflate those numbers.
I used to say TikTok was like a foreign currency with followers because they don't translate anywhere else. You can't use that money anywhere else.
Some people it does work, like Queso, people like that. But you know, like for example, like my YouTube like shorts get like 100 million views a month, you know, which is quite a bit. If I was botting myself to 30K views, people would be like, well, he gets a lot on YouTube, so it must be real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful with that. Now that said, though, go ahead. What were we talking about?
He finished his point.
So first off, there was a previous clip that I'm unable to find right now from a different podcast where NMP talks about how, oh yeah, sometimes a bunch of times, he just says stuff without knowing anything. And this seems to be one of those situations because I've created videos on this in the past too, very early on, where I say like Wendy Ortiz is one of the kind of like, I wouldn't say pioneer, but she is someone that's pushing Twitch in a different direction because she's brought a whole new audience to it. And Wendy Ortiz, she got her start on Twitch via DDG. DDG brought her onto the platform, collaborated with her. She brought her own audience. Their audience kind of mixed, although most of her audience is hers and most of DDG's audience is his, especially after they had this split several months ago. And I wouldn't say there's smoke between them. I don't think DDG cares. He's put on a bunch of people, and some of them don't mess with him anymore. Some of them do. He doesn't seem to take it to heart. With that being said, Wendy Ortiz averages in the tens of thousands of viewers, but the fact that this guy says that her viewership is fake, or he doesn't believe that her viewership is real because she's on TikTok, and yeah, you know, it's an easy sell that someone that's popping on TikTok would also be lit on Twitch. No, it's not an easy sell whatsoever. What are you talking about? Like, most people understand, yeah, if someone's lit on TikTok, they're not going to be lit on Twitch, and they're not going to be lit on YouTube. Let's just take, for instance, Justin Bieber, right? Justin Bieber, you don't get more lit than Justin Bieber, globally speaking. I mean, the guy's packing out arenas across the world whenever he's going on tour. Yet, when he goes on Twitch, now he's averaging around 10 to 11,000 viewers. Now, granted, I do say that there's a difference between being pure celebrity versus being, let's say, a streamer, because streamers know how to entertain and they built up a streamer base. So if let's say Aiden Ross averages 50,000 and Justin Bieber is going to be an appearance on Aiden Ross and that's promoted, Aiden Ross might get 250,000 that stream. However, Justin Bieber streaming on his own will get 10,000 because there's just different things have to line up. I don't want to get too much into detail on that, but we believe Justin Bieber's viewership is real, right? Correct? Okay. But Justin Bieber's lit everywhere. Who else is popping on TikTok? Well, Ty Dolla $ign is somebody that's really popping everywhere, generally music, and he'll average anywhere from 100 to 200 viewers, around 150 for the most part. So you can't really translate it that well unless you start to look at, and this is actually, I'm going to hold off on that point. The reason why he says is, oh, well, if she was so poppin', she would have won the vote for Best Breakout Streamer, because Wendy Ortiz was nominated for Best Breakout Streamer alongside Rakai, DDG, FaZe Adapt, and Vanilla Mace. And this is what they claimed was 70% voting and 30%, or 70% fan voting and 30% just regular, the staff voting. And of course, NMP says that, yeah, she would have won that, assuming that this thing is fair, because Cutie Cinderella and Ludwig that run the event, I don't know if they're still boys, but they're from the same streaming lunch table. I'm going to start calling these things lunch tables, because that's really what they are. Everyone's got their own lunch table in high school. So they're from the same streaming lunch table. They've known each other for at least 8 years, these guys. So he's probably just assuming like, yeah, of course, if she won the vote, they would have given it to her. And I do believe that, but they gave it to Adapt, which it's funny because Adapt is really cool with Cutie Cinderella. Or like she messes with FaZe heavy as opposed to DDG, a Rakai, or I don't even think she's interacted much with Wendy Ortiz. I also think Wendy Ortiz just didn't push that hard to get votes. And that's another aspect of it. Like, if you're not asking for votes consistently and encouraging your community to vote for you, they're not just going to vote for you. You have to encourage it, even if you have a rabid community. Because nobody's waking up and thinking like, oh yeah, let me go vote for Wendy Ortiz 100 million times. Like, very, very few people. However, if you're a Wendy Ortiz supporter and she's like, hey, can you guys go vote for me every day? She's like, hey, make sure to vote in the beginning of the stream and the end of the stream. Then you're probably like, okay, let me just shoot a vote. That'll be really quick. So that's another aspect of it. Now, for the faking the viewership, this is where we really gotta just pull this guy's card, because you can have a certain amount of viewership, like Neon, 100%, that dude's juicing his views. They're heavily juiced, because the easiest way to look at it is just check out the person's subscriber count. You look at Wendy Ortiz's subs. Just pull up any VOD of hers. This chick's got nearly 30,000 subs. She's got over 1 million followers in a very, very short span of time on Twitch. And she's got her own community on there. So 30,000, or let's just say 28,000, right? She's got nearly, that's 28,000 people that are subscribed to her. Now, what are you going to tell me? What's the next excuse? Oh, so she's spending money on bots. And on top of that, she's spending money on gifting herself subscribers. Let's be real here, dog. Come on. She's spending over $100,000 a month gifting herself subscribers, because 28,000 subs, it's like $6 a sub now, actually. So she would be spending 120 grand a month to gift herself subscribers to make it seem like she's lit. Let's keep it a buck. This chick is just lit, and I don't think NMP understands that. And she's brought a whole new audience to Twitch. It's a fact. And you just check out her crew, right? Her crew consists of her sister, I think Johnny Cameraman, DDG's former cameraman, who's got his own motion going right now. And I think she's Mexican, right? Regardless, I think a silent fan base that's strong, that a lot of people disregard, and in streaming now as well, is Latinos. And this happens in hip-hop too, funny enough. Like, people will always say like, yo, this Ye concert, or they'll say, yeah, these concerts, they're just, all I see is white people, because America, for some odd reason, people just divvy it up into white and black, and then whatever the other groups, you just fall somewhere, like they're throwing you on one of those sides, or honestly, they're just disregarded. However, if you look at a lot of the buyers of merchandise, like let's just look at Pablo Tour, a lot of that merchandise was bought by Latinos and Asians. Like, these groups are massive supporters and contribute a lot of money and support to hip-hop, but people just, they don't really even consider them. And of course, white people, but the reason why I say Latinos and Asians is because I believe they disproportionately buy stuff in comparison to the percentage of the American population that they are. Like, white people, of course, they're going to be more because they're like, what, 60-something% of the U.S.? But I think that's what's happening on Twitch right now. Like, there was a lack of representation, as corny as that sounds, because people like to use it in odd ways, of especially a female Latino streamer. But now there's kind of like this crew of them. Like, they've got DDG's cameraman. So now if you're a guy, you're not just watching Wendy Ortiz, you're also watching the cameraman. And they're spreading it across TikTok, and she's creating her own, not bubble, her own lunch table, because she got kicked out of the other lunch table by, well, not by DDG, but her fan base kind of like urged her to separate herself, because she is she's audience captured a bit, which is like when your audience wants you to do something that you don't necessarily want to do, but you're scared of your audience, so you have to do it anyway. I think of like political streamers are in that bucket, and people with rabid fan bases are in that bucket as well. So yeah, Wendy Ortiz's viewership is 100% real. Just because he can't understand it, doesn't know where it came from, and can't conceptualize it, doesn't mean that it's not real. Like, you look at the chat, how it moves, you look at her audience, how they're harassing people. Like DDG will tell you that they're real. These guys we're sending them nonstop messages. Same thing with Blackboy Max. He's like, yo, her audience, her fan base is wild. They're rabid. So if you're getting attacked by DMs of a person's audience offline, yeah, they've got a real audience. Neon's fans ain't really doing it like that. I mean, they are. He's got a small base like that, but the subs is the biggest dead giveaway. And there's a reason why people like Neon don't really show their sub count, because he doesn't really pay attention to it because he's not getting that many subs. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think her viewership is boosted, or what's the deal here? Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you on the next one.